So this man made a Mother's Day post, mentioned his mom Kathy by name, his new wife by name, his mother-in-law by name, and also references his new wife as the stepmom to his boy Jack, but intentionally excludes naming Anna Faris.
Oh my gosh! Who could have guessed that Andy would turn out to be such a D-bag? Such a righteous D-bag.
So Anna Faris's ex posted this photo of him and his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, to his Instagram with the following caption. Let's read it together. Guys, for real, look how she's looking at me. I mean, you know what? I can't. So I'm going to let you pause it, and then I'll meet you back here in a sec. Okay, so pause it. Whoa there, you just saw some crazy shit. That's a little weird.
We develop attachment to celebrities and imagine based on scant evidence that we be good friends with them. So when evidence emerges that maybe we don't have quite as much in common as we thought, we end up feeling betrayed by someone we have actually never met and have no idea we even exist. In other words, whatever the thoughts and belief of the actual Chris Pratt is, it became clear he wasn't quite the same person as the Chris Pratt many fans thought he was. So sociologists call this a parasocial relationship, and it's a very real thing. The fans thought that he was a sweet, innocent Andy in Parks and Rec. After the revelation that he's just simply Chris Pratt to them, people began to imagine the worst about him.
Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger bought this mid-century home known as the Zimmerman house. Then, shortly after buying it, they demolished it.
Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger just bought and demolished a historic home in LA. And I just want to say, Chris, Katherine, amazing job. I love what y'all are doing. And if you're ever looking for another historic home to buy and demolish, please reach out to me and I would love to help you on your journey.
This is so annoying. I opened Architectural Digest today to see this kind of vague headline about Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger building a home in place of a mid-century modern historic house. That's sort of a polite way of saying that they just tore one down.
Chris Pratt and Katherine were under fire for raising an artistically significant house they purchased last year. According to Rob Report, the couple bought the Zimmerman house in Los Angeles' Brentwood neighborhood off market for $12.5 million in January 2023. Shortly after, they demolished the mid-century building, designed by esteemed mid-century architect Craig Elwood, and began construction on a new home for themselves. Chris and Katherine reportedly were drawn to the property for its proximity to a home owned by Katherine's mother, Maria Schriver. All the buildings require a huge amount of maintenance, and there comes a point when endless repairs are no longer cost-effective. Outdated structures can require plenty of investment to bring them up to modern standards. Structural problems like weakened basement foundation or issues including poor plumbing and ventilation can make demolishment the best solution. In addition, it's often cheaper to demolish and rebuild than to renovate. The structural integrity of a building is completely dependent on its foundation. Unfortunately, in many older buildings, the infrastructure has degraded to the point it's simply not economic to keep the building standing. House prices may be rising, but sometimes the only way to add value to a property is to knock it down. Home buyers are put off by a property that looks abandoned or dilapidated. There's a big difference between a door-upper and a building nobody will touch. Building demolishment is the best way to clear a plot in a desirable location and expand or rebuild to suit the current market. Flood and storm damage can cause a considerable amount of damage. For example, if flood water sweeps in the foundation, it can undermine the structure of the building. Likewise, fire can destroy a building's structural integrity. There may be dangerous materials such as lead, asbestos, and mercury. Note that specialists will need to remove these before demolishment or vermin infestation in the building. In these situations, demolishment may be the safest course of action.
I am lucky to have this time and the privilege to say this. This needs to stop.
Ellen Page's interview with Stephen Colbert went viral last week when the Oscar nominee called out homophobia and anti-gay policies. Well, Chris Pratt was on Colbert last night, and Ellen was unimpressed with what the focus of the interview was.
Yeah, so Chris is a member of the Hillsong Church, which is extremely anti-LGBTQ. On Colbert, Chris talked about the diet he recently went on that he did through the church.
Elliot's Page's remarks are what sparked people to jump on Chris Pratt in the first place. However, Elliot's criticism was of Hillsong, which he seemed to believe that Chris was a part of. Chris Pratt attends Zoe Church in Los Angeles. Zoe is not officially affiliated with Hillsong. However, the founder of Zoe is Chad Fudge, who was formerly a pastor at Hillsong and says that he modeled Zoe after it. Zoe Church makes no official statement for or against LGBT rights and claims that it's open to everyone. People seem to be assuming that Zoe is a part of Hillsong. It's not, and that it shares the church's homophobic beliefs. Chad Fudge himself said that he mostly avoids talking about issues because he doesn't want to bring up politics in the church. I don't know what services in the church are like, so it's possible that Fudge's homophobic views aren't taught there. It's not actually related to Hillsong, so it shouldn't be held liable for that church homophobia. Zoe's members, including Chris Pratt, may sincerely believe that the church is not homophobic. It's also worth noting that many other celebrities attend this church, including Maria Shriver, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez, but they don't seem to get criticized for it. Love the sinner, hate the sin. Religious belief does not equate homophobia.
Yo, is Chris Pratt an actual Donald Trump supporter? Cancel culture has come for Pratt's neck. The Avengers had to take flight to come rescue the man.
Chris is a patriot and wears patriotic clothes. It is unfortunate that the extreme right-wing supporters have caused ridicule for their over-the-top flag wearing, degrading the flag. The same thing happened in England when right-wing racist groups used the English flag at their rallies, at a time when most English people used the Union flag. So people assumed any English person flying the flag was racist. Chris is a Republican, I believe, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a Trump supporter. Even if he's a Trump supporter, it simply means that he agrees with his policies, and there's nothing wrong with agreeing with Trump's policies. Trump policies can be argued as beneficial for the country. A Republican may not agree with every policy that party promotes. Likewise a Democrat, so you can judge someone solely for the party they support. He is entitled to his beliefs and his opinion. He makes no attempt to force his beliefs onto others.
Bestie, that one gave me shakes of literal rage. He basically thanks his new younger wife for giving him a healthy daughter. And if you don't know why that is problematic, that's because of his son. Their son Jack was born early, premature.
If you're ready to hear something stupid, Chris Pratt is being slammed right now for calling his daughter healthy.
This is a huge overreaction. You should be happy that your baby is healthy. That doesn't mean that your first child isn't good enough. It's commonly seen as a nice and a forward response to the question, do you hope for a boy or girl? With, I just want them to be happy and healthy. Saying that someone is insensitive for being glad that their baby was born healthy would be similar to saying it's insensitive to be proud of your younger child's accomplishment when your old child has had struggles. I bet $1 billion he views his son as healthy too. This is completely common thing to say, and it doesn't mean anything about one child being more healthy than the other.
Chris Pratt has been labelled as trash by fans after he left his baby mama out of his Mother's Day post. People are saying she's the whole reason he's a father, so he should have mentioned her in the post, seeing as she is the mother of his kid. However, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, so I feel like it's just pointless to comment on someone else's relationship.
Chris Pratt and Anna Faris married in 2009 and their divorce finalized in October 2018. Divorce never happens for one reason, and it is rarely ever one person's fault. For people to only blame Chris Pratt for the divorce is astonishing. Anna Faris talked about her previous marriages with Gwyneth Paltrow, where she also admitted being at fault. My 2 other marriages were with actors, and I do not think we did a great job of eliminating competitiveness. Or at least I didn't, being a proud person and not wanting to reveal vulnerability. Any hint of competitiveness and comparison, I didn't handle that very well, I don't think. And I hope that I've grown from that. Anna Faris told Patrol. If a divorce is dubbed a failed marriage because the marriage ends, that would mean a successful marriage is defined as successful based on longevity. This line of thinking promotes the concept that couples should remain in a marriage even to their detriment. Sometimes success means realizing the path to your family's well-being might lie in a different direction, and that direction is sometimes divorce. After divorce, people have different practices surrounding Mother's Day or Father's Day. Anna Faris has never made a post or acknowledged Chris Pratt on Father's Day. Most divorced couples never publicly wish each other a happy Mother or Father's Day. You might say, what about Tom Brady? Tom Brady is divorced with 2 different baby mothers. He is not newly married to someone else at the moment. For Tom to post Mother's Day for both of the mothers of his children is mild. Chris Pratt is married to Kat. They have 2 children, and for him to wish publicly Happy Mother's Day on a post probably wouldn't make her happy. It is inappropriate to post someone else while married. Tom Brady, when he was married, only posted Bridget on his Instagram stories, not on his Instagram timeline. The public is not supposed to know if you wish somebody a happy birthday or a happy parent day.